I literally don't understand the reason for all these flaps. Welcome, builders of the internet. My name is Jessa and I work in construction, and it's been a while since I've done a mental health check-in. So today is going to be part of my On My Mind series where I just talk about how I've been for the past month. I thought my theme for this month would sort of be about work-life balance, because we've been in our third lockdown in the UK and it's been interesting, or really not interesting. It's been a really strange time because it feels like time is simultaneously moving super fast, but also not really moving at all. And I thought I would just kind of talk about how my work-life balance has been different throughout this lockdown situation compared to sort of pre-pandemic times. It's building on my mind. I found it quite hard to motivate myself through work so far this year. I think at the beginning of the year it was really slow, and then it started ramping up again, which was really nice, and I prefer being busy, but it's just not quite the same when my commute is literally just from my bed to my desk. I quite miss sort of having a change of scenery in order to help distinguish where work and home life separates. I'm sure many people have had this issue throughout the pandemic as well, and to be honest, I really can't wait to go back into the office and to just sort of see other people again, because it's quite draining, I think, just being sort of stuck on my own. Also at work, we used to have more social activities when, for example, on Friday lunchtimes we played squash with each other, and I really miss those kind of experiences and being able to play sports properly with my friends, because I go for walks occasionally, but that's pretty much it. The next element of my life that I've got going on at the moment is uni. It restarted again, I think, at the end of January, and currently in our 5th or 6th week, which has been okay. It's now moved to completely online learning, whereas last term we were allowed to go in person every couple of weeks. And to be honest, I really don't like online lectures because my laptop is really questionable and my internet connection can be super questionable as well. So it keeps cutting off and then disrupting the lectures. So I find it's just more productive for me to watch the recordings of it instead of watching it live, because when I watch it live and then it cuts me off, I have to end up rewatching everything again because I miss sections, which is frustrating, but at the end of the day, just got to do what we've got to do at the moment and just bear with it, hopefully, until we can go back in person again. But I do very much miss the paninis and the interesting lunches that we had there. I've also found that I've been getting involved a fair amount more with volunteering over the past couple of months. I've actually found it a really great opportunity throughout lockdown and being stuck at home to sort of have more hours to do volunteering. So for example, I do the Young Apprentice Ambassador Network, where I talk about apprenticeships to schools and stuff, and then I also am an activist for Young Minds, which is a mental health charity for young people under the age of 26, and it's been really lovely because I guess I don't have to travel around so much, and I don't have to be in 5 places all at once because everything is just virtual meetings. So as long as the meetings aren't at clashing times, I'm pretty much fine to attend meetings regularly and actually feel like I'm contributing to something. And there's a campaign coming out throughout March, which we've been working on since July in Young Minds, which has been a long journey, and I've had very much ups and downs with it, in very hesitant about providing advice for other people in terms of mental health. But we are there, the content has been made, and I'll probably share it on my social media if you want to check it out. And then it was also National Apprenticeship Week with the Ambassador Network, and I had so much fun being able to do recording sessions and being able to do interviews, question and answer sessions for that. I just really enjoy sort of mixing with other people, interacting with new people and sharing what I've been through in the hopes that it might inspire somebody else. When it comes to my hobbies, I've been very much up and down with actually kind of sticking to doing them. I used to do a lot of dressmaking and sewing, but have found that I've lost a bit of motivation for that because I like making clothes for certain occasions and for events that I want to wear out to, but there's no events to go out to. So hopefully once we start having plans with friends of times to hang out, then I'll be able to make clothes for those occasions again. And I also realised throughout this lockdown that I have way too many clothes for my wardrobe, which is kind of small. So I've been trying to minimize how much I'm like expanding into that area until I can bring it in myself to chuck out some of the clothes that I probably haven't worn for years. I did a clear out and had like 3 bags full, but there's still probably stragglers left over of clothes that I don't really wear but I keep for the sentimental value. I also love doing music in my free time and decided to buy myself a ukulele, which you can check out in this video over here. I decided to write a lockdown inspired song just because life was a bit of a meh, and wanted to write something that would accurately represent my mood throughout this. And so if you decide to listen to it, brilliant. I quite like the song, I've listened to it a few times and I am pretty proud of it, to be honest. I also conduct a choir and I've been keeping up with that and have been able to write some music arrangements and things like that, and I have been really enjoying keeping up with that, and it's nice having a regular rehearsal every week for me to look forward to, for me to have something to plan and organise, and I really cannot wait till we can start rehearsing in person again, because it's so different being able to just play music with the instruments or singing in an ensemble with other people and being able to like hear that and just make something amazing together. Because whilst we can do virtual choirs, at the end of the day you're still singing on your own and it's a bit of a lonely experience, I guess, and I think it feels more like a chore when you have to record these things virtually rather than when you're performing it together in person. As you might have been able to guess, I also do YouTube videos in my free time as part of my hobbies, and have been keeping up with that relatively regularly, apart from at the beginning of the year where I didn't post for a week because I just was feeling terrible. But it's been really nice having a YouTube channel and having something to work towards each week to give some kind of regularity and pattern in my life, which I've really enjoyed. I also hit 50 subscribers last week, which I'm so proud of. I know it doesn't really seem like much at all, but yeah, I'm terrible at actually sharing the channel and making an effort of getting other people to check it out, because it's just a bit don't know if embarrassing is the right word, but I just get really hesitant about talking to strangers online because it's like asking them a favour, and I really have nothing to offer in return at this point in time. So yeah, I hope that I get better at sharing it out, but I've been so proud of some of the videos that I've made. For example, last week I made a video about this survey that I'd been collecting data for since the beginning of the year, and I'm really pleased that I did it because it helped encourage me to actually talk to people and ask, how do you feel about the pandemic and stuff, and I'm glad that I got so many responses on the survey, because it just helped me put a lot of things in perspective and appreciate kind of what I've got, and just kind of realise that there are other positive things that can come out of this lockdown, I guess, because my mental health is very questionable at sort of any given point, and especially for me in the past couple of months. My therapist gave birth, which is amazing for her, and I'm so pleased for her because she is just amazing. And yeah, it has also meant that I've had to stop therapy for a while. Hopefully I'll restart it in March or when she comes back from maternity leave. I really appreciate having all my friends to talk to and just having an amazing support network, but it's just not quite the same as sort of speaking to a therapist where 1 hour dedicated to talking about myself, and it just helps me sort of with my self-improvement. I do really miss it, but at the same time it's been nice knowing that I can cope and manage fine without it at the same time. It's going to be interesting how life is sort of without therapy, if things sort of get back to normality with socialising and actually interacting with people, because it's all well and good being like, yeah, I can manage on my own just fine, but I'm literally just on my own, like I'm with my family but rarely talking to other people. So when I actually start interacting with real life humans again, I cannot wait to see if I've actually sort of made improvements there. Another thing to do with work-life balance this month has been my extraordinary lack of going outside. I was coming up with every excuse under the sun to not make it outside and just stay at home and keep doing my workouts and stuff at home, because I was just like, it's raining, can't really go out in the rain. And then it started snowing, so I was like, snowing, it's too cold to go outside now. But the weather over the past week or so has been really lovely, and so I kind of ran out of excuses. I was like, yeah, I really want to go outside now. So I actually went outside probably for the first time in what felt like months and went for a walk. I actually went for a jog and I was so proud of myself. And when I say jog, I mean I ran for 5 minutes and then got really tired, so just walked the remaining 25 minutes. And then my friends made fun of me because the distance that I walked in 25 minutes, they probably could have done in 10, but I have short legs, so that's my excuse. Yeah, I have been trying to make an effort to actually go outside at least 3 times a week, and I've been going for walks, which has been really therapeutic. And yeah, I have really missed walking and really missed going on public transport. It's going to be a while, I guess, before I go on public transport again, but yeah, I love listening to audiobooks, which is kind of ideal for me when I'm on transport because, you know, I'm not really doing anything else with that time. Overall for me, in terms of work-life balance throughout this pandemic, it's been a constant roller coaster and a whole load of juggling ups and downs and stuff, because I guess what's great for me on one day probably won't feel right on another given day. And yeah, it's just trying to find the balance of actually socializing, which I don't enjoy very much doing virtually, as well as trying to keep up with my work and motivations for that, as well as having all my projects going on at the side. But I definitely prefer being busy and have found ways to keep myself busy throughout this in order to, I guess, distract myself and keep myself pretty content and happy overall. I really cannot complain with how my mental health has been over the past couple of months. It's definitely been a lot better than the first lockdown, where it kind of hit rock bottom, or the worst where it's been for a long time. I guess I'm kind of getting used to it at this point, and now there's kind of steps out of lockdown, and I'm really looking forward to just mixing with other people again, which I've missed so much. It would be great to hear how work-life balance has been for you watching this, if you wanted to leave a comment or like and subscribe and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I hope it helped build on your mind.
Thanks for watching this channel, it's building on my mind. Check out my other videos, but first hit the bell and comment, like, subscribe. Please, it really helps with the algorithm.